Sometimes you spend so much time looking for the right path that you forget every path begins with a single choice. Every archway looks different. Some are filled with light, some disappear into silence, some promise beauty, others reveal nothing at all. But appearances have never told the whole story. The easiest entrance doesn't always lead to the life you truly want, and the hardest one isn't always meant to make you suffer. Sometimes it's simply the only way forward. We think we're choosing a destination, but more often, we're choosing the person we'll become after walking through it. One choice teaches courage, another teaches patience, another asks you to let go of the version of yourself you've already outgrown. That's why this was never about finding the perfect archway. It was about noticing which one quietly speaks to something inside you, the one you can't easily explain, the one that stays in your mind, even after you've looked away, because some doors don't call your eyes, they call your soul. So don't ask which one everyone else would choose. Ask yourself which one you would regret never walking through. Maybe your next chapter has been waiting there long before you arrived. The only question left is, which archway calls you? Before you choose, don't look for the most beautiful archway. Don't choose the brightest one, and don't choose the one you think you should choose. Simply look. Give yourself a quiet moment. Notice which archway your eyes return to first, not the second, not after comparing. The first, because sometimes your first choice comes from a place deeper than conscious thought. An archway is different from a door. A door can be opened or closed. A bridge connects two places. A staircase asks you to climb. But an archway never asks for permission. It simply stands there, waiting for the person who is finally ready to walk through. Every archway marks a transition, the end of one chapter, the beginning of another. Sometimes you don't even realize your life has changed until you look back and remember that one decision, that one conversation, that one unexpected moment when you quietly stepped into a different version of yourself. Perhaps that is why certain places feel strangely familiar, not because you've been there before, but because part of you has always belonged there. Today, these 4 archways represent 4 different journeys, 4 different ways of growing, 4 different versions of courage. None of them are right, none of them are wrong. They simply reflect where you are. Right now, take one more look. Don't analyze, don't compare. Just notice which archway calls you first. Archway 1. The Giant Tree Archway. If the Giant Tree Archway was the first to catch your attention, you are probably entering a season of quiet growth, not the kind that everyone notices, the kind that changes you from the inside. This archway wasn't built by human hands. It grew, slowly, patiently, year after year, without asking for recognition, and perhaps that feels familiar to you. You may have spent a long time working on yourself without anyone seeing the effort, healing, learning, changing, growing stronger, not for applause, but because you knew something had to change. The giant tree doesn't rush. It doesn't compare itself to the forest around it. It simply grows toward the light, one season at a time. Sometimes, we think real transformation should happen quickly. One decision, one breakthrough, one perfect day. But life rarely works that way. Real change is usually invisible. It happens through small choices, made again and again. Choosing patience instead of panic. Choosing honesty instead of pretending. Choosing peace instead of proving yourself. If this archway called to you, your subconscious may be reminding you that you don't need to force your next chapter. Some things cannot be rushed. Just like an ancient tree, your strongest roots are growing where no one else can see them. And one day, the life you're quietly building will become impossible to ignore. Archway 2, the ice archway. If the ice archway was the one that drew your attention first, there is a quiet strength inside you that few people ever notice. Ice has always been misunderstood. People see it as cold, distant, unmoving, but they rarely see what it has survived. The endless winters, the relentless storms, the unbearable silence. Yet somehow, it remains. Perhaps that feels familiar. You may have spent much of your life holding yourself together. While everything around you kept changing, you became the reliable one, the calm one, the person who stayed composed, even when your own heart was searching for somewhere to rest. People often assume that quiet people feel less, but the truth is usually the opposite. Sometimes, the quietest souls feel everything. They've simply learned not to let every emotion become a reaction. This archway suggests that you've reached a moment where peace matters more than proving yourself. You no longer want to win every argument. You no longer need everyone to understand you. You are beginning to realize that protecting your inner peace is not selfish. It's necessary. Notice how the ice reflects the light. It doesn't create its own light. It simply reflects what is already there. People are similar. The world often reflects back the energy we carry within us. If your mind is always racing, everything will seem urgent. If your heart is filled with fear, every uncertainty will feel like danger. But when you become still, something changes. You begin to notice things that noise used to hide. The answers you've been chasing may not arrive through more effort. They may arrive through stillness. This doesn't mean stopping your journey. It means stopping the unnecessary struggle. Not every battle deserves your energy. Not every opinion deserves your attention. Not every disappointment deserves a permanent place inside your heart. If you chose this archway, your subconscious may be reminding you that clarity isn't found by moving faster. It's found by becoming quieter. The frozen landscape doesn't rush towards spring. It trusts that every season arrives at exactly the right time. Perhaps your life is asking you to do the same. Trust what is unfolding, even if today looks still, because beneath the surface, change is already beginning. Archway 3, the crystal archway. If the crystal archway was the one that captured your attention first, there is something inside you that has been waiting to be seen. Crystals are extraordinary. They are formed under pressure, over time, in darkness, long before they ever reflect their first ray of light. Perhaps your life has felt a little like that. There may have been moments when you questioned whether everything you've endured had any meaning. The disappointments, the failures, the loneliness, the waiting. It can feel as though nothing is changing. But crystals teach us a different truth. The most beautiful transformations often happen where no one can witness them. This archway doesn't represent success. It represents discovery, the discovery of something that has always been within you. Maybe You've spent years trying to become someone else, someone stronger, someone wiser, someone more confident. Yet the more you searched outside yourself, the further you drifted from who you already were. The crystal archway invites you to stop searching for another identity. Instead, it asks you to uncover the one hidden beneath fear. Because fear has a strange habit. It convinces us that we're unfinished, that we need one more achievement, one more compliment, one more opportunity before we're worthy. But crystals never apologize for the time they needed to form. Neither should you. Everything you've experienced, every mistake, every heartbreak, every unexpected turn, has shaped the person standing here today. Not perfectly, but authentically. If you chose this archway, your subconscious may be telling you that your greatest strength has never been what other people see. It's what they cannot see. Your resilience, your kindness, your imagination, your ability to begin again, even after life has broken you. Sometimes, the world only notices what shines, but it forgets how long that light spent growing in darkness. This archway is reminding you to stop measuring your worth by external recognition. You are not valuable because someone finally noticed you. You are valuable because of who you have become while no one was watching. Perhaps the next chapter of your life isn't about becoming brighter. Perhaps it's about allowing yourself to finally shine, not for approval, not for applause, simply because that is who you are meant to be. Archway 4. The volcanic archway. If the volcanic archway was the one you noticed first, then your journey may not be about finding peace. It may be about becoming someone who can walk through fire without becoming consumed by it. Fire has always frightened us. It destroys, it burns, it changes everything it touches. But fire also creates. It clears what no longer belongs. It transforms the old into the possibility of something new. Perhaps that is exactly where you are right now. You may feel as though your life has become uncertain. Relationships have changed. Dreams have shifted. Plans that once felt certain no longer make sense. And part of you keeps asking, why is everything falling apart? But what if it isn't falling apart? What if it's being rebuilt? Volcanoes don't erupt because they fail. They erupt because the pressure can no longer remain hidden. People are not so different. There comes a moment when pretending becomes heavier than telling the truth, when staying becomes harder than leaving, when surviving is no longer enough because something inside you wants to live. This archway often appears to people who are standing at the edge of a major change, not because they know what comes next, because they know they cannot go back. There is something powerful about accepting that truth. Not every ending is a loss. Sometimes an ending is simply life making room for a beginning that couldn't exist before. The fire doesn't ask whether you're ready. It simply asks whether you're willing to become someone different. That can be frightening, because change always asks us to release something familiar, an identity, a habit, a fear, a story we've been telling ourselves for years. If you chose this archway, your subconscious may be telling you that the life you've been trying to protect is no longer the life you're meant to live. There is courage inside you that you haven't fully discovered yet. Not because you've never had it, because life hasn't asked for it until now. One day, you will look back at this season and realize The fire was never there to destroy you. It was there to reveal who you really are. Now, look back at the archway you chose, not because it predicts your future, but because it reflects the season you're living through today, the one learning to grow, the one finding peace, the one discovering their true self, or the one ready to be transformed. None of these journeys are better than the others. Every life passes through each of them at different times. Perhaps months from now, you would choose a different archway, not because the archways changed, because you did. Before you leave, tell me which archway called you first. I'm curious. Did its message feel familiar? Sometimes the place that changes your life isn't hidden behind the archway. It's the person you become after choosing to walk through it. There is something interesting about an archway. It doesn't stop you. It doesn't pull you. It doesn't convince you to enter. It simply waits, patiently, silently, until the day you decide to walk through. Life is filled with moments like this, moments that seem ordinary while they're happening. A conversation, a decision, a goodbye, a beginning. At the time, they may feel like nothing, but years later, you realize that was the moment everything changed. Not because the world became different, because you did. We often believe our lives are shaped by extraordinary events, but more often, they're shaped by ordinary choices made with extraordinary courage, choosing honesty, choosing forgiveness, choosing yourself, choosing to continue when giving up would have been easier. Every one of those choices is an archway. Most people walk past them without noticing. Some people stand in front of them, waiting for certainty. Very few choose to step through, without knowing what waits on the other side. Perhaps that is why the future always belongs to those who are willing to move before everything makes sense. No one can promise that the next chapter will be easier. No one can promise that it will be perfect. But every meaningful life has one thing in common. Someone chose to keep walking, even while they were afraid, even while they doubted themselves, even while they couldn't see what was ahead. Maybe the archway that called you today was never meant to predict your future. Maybe it simply reminded you that every new beginning starts with one quiet decision to step forward. Thank you for spending these quiet moments with me. Until we meet again, listen closely to your inner whisper.